Welcome to your daily tarot reading. I'm Karen, this is Veronica's Dreams Coaching and Tarot. This is our daily tarot reading. As said, I'm going to be using the Somnia Tarot today. And as a quick note, please hit that thumbs up button and then let me know where you're listening from or watching from. It's very interesting to know. So, or any comment that you so choose to say. Okay, hope everyone's doing great. Let's get started. Give me a sec. One more shuffle. Let's get going. Okay, we've got current situation, High Priestess, present influence, Knight of Swords. What we don't see is the Nine of Wands, unexpected. Is the Queen of Wands. Aha! I don't think I normally do this way. Okay, well we are. Challenge. Page of Cups, Strength. Four of Swords, where does this lead? I'll go 2 cards, please. Where does this lead? Queen of Swords. And Judgment. Okay, the bottom of the deck is the King of Swords, but I am going to pull a major for the overall emphasis of the reading. The Sun is the major for the reading. So, it is about happiness. It is about joy. And something's telling me, though, that you're like either headed there or that's what you're searching for. And the reason I'm kind of get searching is because of the High Priestess with the Knight of Swords. Like the Knight of Swords is that energy coming in like really quickly. And it's almost like forcing you to use your intuition. Is this what I want to do? So this information, something's happening a little bit on the chaotic side where it's unexpected. It's not really something that you've planned or something to that effect. And it's like coming in really fast. And that High Priestess is saying, it's forcing you almost to trust your intuition. What you don't see is that Nine of Wands. So it's not easy. And it's not going to be easy. The Nine of Wands doesn't mean you can't do it. It's just not easy. It's going to be, energy. You're going to have to work through this. The Queen of Wands and the unexpected I like because that's kind of like taking the bull by the horns. The Queen of Wands is going to like get motivated, get the passion involved, getting things moving. I really like that card there. So let's clarify. Let's clarify that Knight of Swords. What is this present influence? We'll pull 3 cards on this. What is the present influence here? Ten of Swords, the World. So Ten of Swords and the World are both endings. They're different kind of endings. The Ten of Swords is like shutting the door on something. However, the World's like coming to, reaching goals kind of ending. And the Strength card is hanging in there. So this energy is like there is something you definitely want to put to an end or is coming to an end, but it's both something that you want to close the door on as well as something that's coming to a natural end, if that makes sense. It's got both energies to it. The Strength is like, this is something you're going to have to endure. So this energy that's kind of chaotic is the ending of something. Again, it's both something that is supposed to end. It's a graduation. It's a goal reached. it's the end of a certain life era, lifetime, life segment. It's time it comes to an end. It could even be like retirement because I'm thinking about that. Like, so it's on my mind, or like, graduating college, or reaching, a goal in work, being certified, all of those things. Okay. So, um, but the Ten of Swords is like, I gotta be done. I gotta end this. So it feels more to me like something where you have the control as well as, okay, I've reached my goal, gotta come to an end. Well, I feel like it's coming to an end. I feel like that's what the Knight of Swords is. Because it's going towards, though, the High Priestess, which I feel like is also saying you'll know exactly what to do. Tell me more about the High Priestess. Why is this in our current situation? What are we being using our intuition for? Hangman, Moon, Eight of Pentacles. So yeah, I mean, this is already something that you've been thinking about. You've been, you've kind of been in hangman mode anyway. Um, the moon is the clarity, becoming more clear on things. Again, trusting your intuition. Eight of Pentacles, you've worked really hard. Again, so the Eight of Pentacles also, think about this, it's mastering skills. And I was talking about like the world is like, okay, I've mastered this skill. It's time to move on. So I think this is a little scary, but I think the most important thing is that you're trying to reach more joy in your day-to-day life. I don't think it's like, it could be major, but it could be kind of, getting through something on like the regular. What you don't see is this Nine of Wands. I think it's pretty clear that it's not, things aren't easy. Just because you love it doesn't mean that it doesn't take work, right? So what is this? Nine of Wands. Tell me more about the Nine of Wands. King of Swords. I was hiding somewhere. I saw that. Ten of Wands, Queen of Wands. Okay, so we got that Queen of Wands again. Yeah, hard work, but um, as long as the King of Swords, I feel like, yeah, you've really got to you're trying to make some plans, and you're really trying to focus, and that may be what's hard. But the Ten of Wands is good. Yeah, you'll, rearrange the burden a little bit. How am I going to do this exactly? But what this does say is that you're at the end of the hardness, like the tough, you're almost at, where you'll understand. So it doesn't ever necessarily become easy, but it becomes easier because the Ten of Wands tells you once you learn how to carry that load differently, it becomes less burdensome and it doesn't feel so much as work. It becomes part of your flow. And the Queen of Wands, though, to me is that once you feel that way, you bring in that Queen of Wands, which is sitting in your unexpected, which I really like, because that's the motivation, that's the excitement. The Queen of Wands just really, and it could be like you might be doing something where you're on camera. Queen of Wands loves to be in the spotlight, but it's not the only thing. She's very um, passionate about what she does. She gets other people motivated. She's a great cheerleader, a great leader in the respect that she does build people up, their excitement up. Tell me more about this Queen of Wands and the unexpected. Is there anything else we need to know? I feel like that's you getting excited. Page of Swords. Okay, Ten of Wands. Yeah, working hard. Working hard and reaching your goals. That's so. I mean, some of you know how I envision the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is that person that says, "I want to learn how to yield a sword." And okay, so there you go to sword class, whatever, and there's 10 swords, and there's the smallest to the biggest, and most people pick the small. They learn how to do that, they go to the next, they go to the next. Page of Swords walks in and says, that's what I want to learn how to use, it, which is the biggest sword, and I'm going to start with that. I'm not going to mess around, and this is you not messing around. I'm going all in. I'm going to do this. And then once you realize how to you know deal with the extra work, because it feels a little more burdensome, and it feels like work a little bit. Once you've got it into your flow, Ten of Wands, then you reach the Nine of Cups, which is all wish. Your wish is coming true. You're going to feel good. This is the queen. She's a hard worker, but she's also a motivator. She gets excited. And I feel like that you'll be able to, once that 10 of wands kicks in, where you're like, okay, I just need to figure out how to fit this in my flow, it'll make it a lot easier for you. The page of cups is in your challenge, and I do want to clarify that, because I'm wondering why it's in your challenge. I feel like there's I almost feel like the challenge is that, how do I present this? I don't know how to present this. Like whatever you're working on, and when I say present, like bring it to the world, bring it to the forefront. If it's like doing something on the side, like how do I get people to see this? How do I market it? How do I present this? And he's presenting his water to all the other water. So it feels to me like you might be feeling a little bit like that. I want to get this out. I want to do this, but how do I make it happen? Let's say, okay, so if it's not something you want to do on your own, let's say you're at work and you can see like there's a project and it's really important to you and you're really enthused about it, but you don't know how to present it to the higher ups, or you're not sure how to do this so that it really gets seen. That's the feeling I'm getting there. The Four of Swords is in your strength. You've had your rest time. It's now go time. That's what I feel like that is. And basically, all that's saying is, you've had your downtime already. It's time to like dig in and go and move forward. So it goes to the Queen of Swords to the Judgment, which I like, because the Queen of Swords reminds us that we still need to focus. You can't lose your focus. She's looking back at the rest of the cards, putting it all together. This is what we're going to do, making the plans to move forward. Kind of being in your head a little bit. I mean, I don't ever, recommend always being in your head, but we need to use our intelligence. But more importantly than the intelligence is have a direction. And sometimes we need that direction. And I feel like you will come up with a direction on this project, whatever it is you're working on, to reach your joy. But more importantly, the next few days, these things are going to really like feel really good. Like the judgment comes in, and it's Phoenix, right? A lot of times I see the judgment as the Phoenix card. It's like a rebirth. It's like that 10 of wands, is released. The burden's released, because the 10 of wands also asks you, how can I do this? Because I've got to fit it in. It's important, and not, you know and not get overtired. Well, you just have to manipulate your time, reschedule, do things a little. What can you let go of? Because there's always something that we can let go of that we're doing that maybe not, benefiting the situation or life in general. So there's a way to fit it in. And then once you fit that in and have the flow, like, I mean, there's so often, how often does it happen where something comes up? I mean, I remember raising the kids, and it's like, okay, I've got to take my son to football practice, got to get my daughter to the gymnastics, I got to make dinner. Oh shoot, I got to go to Target because, the kids, da 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 da, there's something going on. There's always ways to fit it in. Sometimes it's tiring, and there's some days that are worse than others, but you can always figure it out. And those are short term things, but I mean, life, we figure it out, we usually do. So I think once that happens, I'm going to clarify the judgment just to see if there's anything else we need to know about this judgment card, because I like that you are going to feel more alive. You are going to feel rejuvenated. Things feel like they're coming together. You feel like almost like a new you. And that's probably not that far off. It's, a couple cards. It's hard to say exactly. I don't like to do a lot of timing with these, but these are daily readings. So I'm thinking like things are going to be really changing over the next couple weeks. If you stick to your guns here, judgment, the wheel, death, judgment. Can't ask for anything better than that. I mean, really, right? I mean, the wheel, you're headed in the right direction. Things are going exactly where they're supposed to. The wheel reminds me of, the divine. It's like, okay, yes, things are moving forward. They're going where you are supposed to be. The death card, The transformation's happening, things are really moving, and that is what is allowing you to feel rejuvenated and renewed. Love this energy, guys. Absolutely. I'm going to pull an oracle card for our advice today. I'm using the Somnia oracle, so I do have to read out of the book, so bear with me on that. I want to shuffle it a little bit more than just once or twice. What is our advice for today? What is our advice? Oh, I got two. I don't want two, so I'm putting them back. Sorry, I don't want to pick two. The Alchemist. I like that. If you're working on something, the Alchemist is a great card. Creation. Let's see what I have to read it in the book though, okay? Because I just got this deck. So there's the Alchemist creating. I'll hold it up in a sec. Yes, I have to figure out what page. So the only downfall to this book, to this deck, I should suggest to him, the cards don't have numbers on them, and the book's not in alphabetical order. So either it had numbers or put the book in alphabetical order. I thought it was 83. Oh, that's 81. Okay, the Alchemist. I mean, we all know kind of what an alchemist is. It makes things happen, puts things together, uses different materials to create something. The Catalyst, transmutation, visionary, mastery, creativity, and potential. It's asking us to use our potential too. You've got the potential to do this. Keep going. So the Alchemist exhibits mastery over the changing states of matter, the solidity of stone, the restless gear of the sea, and the transient nature of smoke and air. Inspired by the esoteric act, we are invited to liberate our repressed energy through creative expression. I like that. With enough determination, we may find the power to break free from past limitations and form a new state of possibility. That's awesome. Because, especially if you're working on something, which you obviously are, this says that you absolutely can do it. But I would, it's a reminder to look at everything and put it all together. They said the smoke, the fire, the water, the everything, put it all together and make something beautiful. But I feel like something is happening here, and I feel like you are creating something, whether it's a new way of living or an actual project or an actual new career or something, but it does feel really good. So congratulations to you. Hope you enjoyed the reading. I'll be back again on Wednesday. Take care. Have a beautiful day.